So, if you've watched any of my gear reviews, you'll know that in a couple of them I've cautioned people about going to Walmart and buying Ozark Trail backpacking gear. Why? Because I just didn't think the quality was very good. But then in December of 2024, last year, one of my daughters bought me an Ozark Trail one-person backpacking tent. Now I needed another one-person backpacking tent like I needed a hole in the head. I've got a plethora of them. But she didn't know that, and it's the thought that counts. Now I intended to take that thing back and get a refund. But I started looking at it on the box, and it looked like a pretty good tent. So I went online and checked out the specs, and it really intrigued me. So I thought, is it waterproof? So I set it up in the backyard. We got about 1.5 inches of rain overnight, and it didn't leak. So then I took it out on the trail and used it, and I had to eat my words. It is, for a budget-friendly offering, a really good tent. It sold for the time she bought it $64. Now I've done a review on it, and I'll put a link to that at the end of this video if you're interested. Sells now for $74, and I'd like to think that's because of my great review, but it's probably because of the tariffs. But it got me thinking, could Ozark Trail make a decent backpack? Well, let me present to you the Ozark Trail 60-liter hiking backpack made with durable material and pockets. Yes, that's how it's listed on the website. It's a mouthful. But I've put this thing through its paces, and I'm ready to do a review on it now. I'm going to go over the specs, I'm going to go over the features, the pros and cons, and then if you're listening to Ozark Trail, I'm going to go over what you could do to make it even better. And at the end of this video, I'm going to go over 2 other packs that are budget-friendly packs about this same price that I think that are even better than this. So if you're looking for a pack that's in around a $70 to $80 range, stay with me. So I have approximately 39 miles on this pack, and I've done it with weights of 22 pounds, 26 pounds, 29 pounds, and even 35 pounds. Now for me, 35 pounds is heavy because my pack usually weighs somewhere between 27 and 29 pounds. So I've come to the place where I feel like I can do a legitimate review on what I really think about this pack. So let's start first of all with the specs. How much does it weigh? Well, the website says 3.96 pounds, and I found that to be spot on. When I weighed it on my scale, it was 63.5 ounces. So let's just say 4 pounds. What about the dimensions? Well, it's 24 inches high, it's 12 inches wide, and 9.5 inches deep. The capacity on this pack, the inside compartment holds 55 liters. Now, on the front of the pack here, you see this little part protruding. That's called a messenger bag or a sling bag. And I say that because it is removable and it holds an additional 5 liters. So this is listed as a 60-liter pack. Now, what about the materials? Well, there's 2 listed on the website. First of all, it's a 420 denier hexagon polyester. And you can see that on the top. It actually has a hexagon shape to it. And then a 600 denier polyester on the rest of it. So although it's polyester, they are heavy-duty materials. So let's start with the features on this bag. And we're going to start on the front of the bag. The first thing I want to point out is this messenger bag. This is removable. You simply unzip it right here, and it comes off. Now, in the back of it is a strap, and you can use this around your shoulders as a sling or messenger bag, or put it around your waist as a waist bag. I use it around my waist. It has 2 zippers on it, one here in the front, and then one that goes all the way around. And it's ideal for carrying anything that you want to get easy access to, like your phone, your wallet, snacks, that. So that's really good. The second feature on this, which is really interesting, is you do have side compression straps, but on the side also you have 2 pockets that unzip. You can see they're fairly large size. And I like the compression straps on the side. You've got another zipper pocket over here. I actually have my bathroom kit in there. And I think that's a really neat, feature to this pack. Also, if you remove the messenger bag, you do also have a pocket right here on the front of the pack. Moving down toward the bottom, we do have 2 compression straps down here, and you can lengthen these out so you could put a sleeping bag back here, or a tent, or a sleeping pad. There is a separate compartment here for your sleeping bag, and it is zippered inside, so you can unzip it and just open the bag up completely, which is what I like to do, and just kind of use it like you would a roll top bag. And then on the bottom, right down here, there is a rain fly right there, and it's just in a little compartment down there with a piece of Velcro. I used a rain fly on it one day when I was out and got caught in a rainstorm, and it's actually a pretty good rain fly or rain cover. So let's go around now to the back of the pack and look at the features on it, and we'll start at the top. It does have a pocket up here on the brain, and incidentally, this brain is not removable. It is just is attached to the bag or the pack, and it clips down in the back. Then going down from here, you have an adjustable torso. It's very easy to adjust. It goes from 14 inches all the way up to 20 inches. And that's pretty good. That's going to cover most people. It has load lifters on both sides of your shoulder straps. The shoulder straps are pretty good. They're fairly thick. Then, of course, it has your sternum strap with a whistle. And then we have pretty good padding on the back of the pack. And that brings us down here to the hip belts. You do have pockets on both hip belts, and they're pretty good size. You can see that. It holds a phone. And then something I like also that's on your better packs is on your hip belt, you do have side adjusters on there. On the side of the pack, you do have two nice hydration pockets. They'll hold a 1 liter bottle easily. And so it's got some really nice features on the back of the pack. But let's go on the inside of the pack. I'm just going to lift up the brain here. It has a nice cinch rope up here. This thing is really heavy duty. And this is something you can't see, but I'm going to show you. There are two removable stays in this pack. Right here they are. They're made of metal. They're easy to get out. They're just Velcroed in there in place. And that gives you stability in the pack and helps transfer the load from your shoulder down to your hips, which is really neat. There's also sewn in between the back of the pack and inside of the pack a piece of plastic. You can feel it, and what that does is it gives protection between your back and what's inside the pack. If you put your cooking stove, your gas canister right up against the back of here, you're not going to feel that. Also, there is a place for your hydration bag in here. There's a pouch, and it has a little Velcro attachment here where you can just attach it on the inside of the bag. And then, of course, the port, the hydration port, is right up here at the top. So this pack has some really nice features that usually you find on a more expensive bag. So let's talk about the pros and cons on this pack. First of all, let's talk about the pros. What do I like about this pack? Well, the first thing is the overall design. I really think it has some really neat features on this pack. And the first thing that really comes to my attention is this messenger bag. I like the fact it's detachable. So if you carry it with you, you could use it for a day hike. But if you don't carry it with you, you can just put it around your waist and you can put in those items you need to get to in a hurry. So I think that's a real neat feature. Incidentally, if you don't take it with a pack, it lightens the pack by 7 ounces, and that brings it down to 3 pounds and 9 ounces. And for a 55-liter traditional pack, that's not bad. I like these side storage pockets on each side. You can put items in there you need to get to in a hurry, like your bathroom kit, your water filtration system. You've also got the brain up here at the top where you can put your rain jacket. So those are nice little features on this pack. Now, the overall workmanship seems to be pretty good. I noticed all the straps seem to be double stitched. I haven't seen any loose hanging threads on it. So that's a good plus to this pack. It looks like it's well made. And then, of course, one of the biggest pros on this pack is the price. It lists for $69.97. Now, when I bought it a couple of months ago, it was $65, but it's gone up now to $69.97. We'll say $70, and that's probably because of your tariffs, but that's not bad. Now, are there cons on this pack? Well, yeah, there are. Being a budget pack, it does have some shortcomings. Of course, some people would say the weight right off, but for a traditional pack, 55-liter, 60-liter pack, 4 pounds is not bad. Now, I will say the shoulder straps on this, they're adequate, but they could be a little bit thicker, stronger material. You know, they're okay. But I've seen packs with better, firmer padding in the shoulder straps. The next thing is the back of the pack. The website says it has ventilation. No, this thing sits right on your back. It is comfortably padded, but if you put this on your pack and it's warm outside, you're going to get sweaty back for sure. I can tell you that. But the biggest drawback to this pack is the hip belt. First of all, the way it closes is you pull it from the inside out. Most of your packs today pull from the outside in. And this, because these straps are also pretty coarse and they hold really well, it's really kind of hard to pull this in and get it torqued down around your waist. But the biggest thing really is the thickness of these. They're very thin, and they're also, look at that, they're very flimsy. And what I found with loads where your total load out on this pack was 22 to 26 pounds, that didn't hurt you. But when you got up 29 to 35 pounds, I had problems with it keeping it around my waist, keeping it on my hips. It tended to slide down, and of course, that puts pressure on my shoulders. So that's the biggest drawback I see on this. I really like this pack, but Ozark Trail, if you're listening, there's a couple of things you could do. You could beef up these shoulder straps. You really need to beef up this hip belt. That's the biggest thing. And if you put some ventilation on this back panel, maybe a trampoline back, this pack would be, an awesome pack. It's not a bad pack right now. And I would say, if you're only going to go backpacking a few times a year and you're looking for a budget-friendly offering, this is not a bad pack. But here's a question. Are there some better offerings out there on the market for budget backpacks? Well, I think there is, that's in this price range. And I want to show you a couple of them. This is the Rock Series 60 plus 5 liter backpack. This is a pack that weighs about 2 pounds, 9 ounces. This has been my pack of choice for the last 3 years. Right now, Walmart has it on sale for $87. Now, if you find it on Amazon, I think it's about $120, but I only paid $83 for it 3 years ago, and this is a really good budget offering. I've done a review on it, and I'll put a link to that at the end of this video. And then there's one more I want to show you, and this is one that I've just purchased, and this is the Gigawatt by Sierra Designs. And this is normally about a $150 backpack, but I found it, I think, on Steep and Cheap for $69. Amazon has it right now for $69. And look at the size of the hip belt on this. Plus, it has double straps down here, and it does close from the outside in. Then the actual shoulder straps are thicker on this. And this is adjustable also up to 21 inches. You can get this right now on Amazon for $69. And I think compared to the Ozark Trail pack, this will be a better pack. Now, I haven't done a review on it, but when I do, I'll post it. This is my next project, incidentally, so you can enjoy that video also. If you have any comments or questions about these, please leave those for me. And I want to ask you to do something else before I sign off on this video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so. Only about 5% of the people that watch our videos are actually subscribed. And so I'm asking people, I used to never do that, and just consider doing it. It doesn't cost you a thing. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you out on the trail sometime.